Hey, welcome to The Explainer. So today, we're diving into something really different. A pretty unconventional vision for what's being called a herbal wellness revolution. Now, this isn't your typical business plan or some dry research paper. It's something way more personal and a lot more ambitious. So let's get right into it.
Okay, so the whole vision kicks off with this absolutely massive number, $2 trillion. That's the projected value of this herbal wellness model by the year 2030. I mean, that's a figure that just immediately grabs your attention, right? It makes you stop and wonder.
So, what is the story here? Well, and this is the interesting part. It's not based on your usual market analysis or any financial reports. The source actually calls it a morning muse, an idea that feels more like an affirmation, or a dream, than some concrete plan. And honestly, that's what makes this so fascinating to break down.
This quote really frames our entire explainer perfectly. The source itself just comes right out and says how tough it is to put a dream into words. We're basically being invited to look at an internal journey, a vision that's being written in the heart, not on some spreadsheet.
Right, so how does a dream like this even begin to translate into a global enterprise? Well, the source gives us a couple of key milestones that help anchor this whole vision in a story of actual growth.
The narrative here is, pretty straightforward, but also incredibly ambitious. The vision zeroes in on 2028 as this key moment where the whole operation expands to 150 countries. And from there, it's just a 2-year leap to that $2 trillion valuation in 2030. It just gives you a sense of the incredible momentum that's imagined in this muse.
But look, a number that big can't just be about products. The source makes it really clear that the actual engine behind this revolution is something much, much deeper. It's an emotional and cultural core.
And at the very heart of it all is this Sanskrit phrase, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. It's such a powerful concept that basically means the world is one family. So this isn't just a business we're talking about, it's a movement, one that's built on a philosophy of a true global community.
And this slide, it brilliantly shows how that philosophy is actually put into practice. The driving force is emotional wellness, and it's built on these pillars. A genuine fellow feeling, creating a safe space for others on their journey, actively reaching out, and reviving old traditions in a way that makes every single person feel included. The crucial takeaway here is that the growth is driven by connection, not just by commerce.
Okay, now let's go even deeper. So, beyond the business model, beyond the cultural philosophy, there's a spiritual foundation. And this is where the source really starts to explore these core ideas of value, identity, and what it calls the innocence of self.
The source poses this really deeply introspective question. It's a challenge, right? A challenge to separate our inherent worth from our ego. Like, how much value do we really have when we strip away that part of us that needs to feel important? And this very question leads us to a really powerful metaphor. And here's that metaphor. Something or someone, when it's unrecognized, feels like a weed. But once it's recognized, it's seen for what it truly is, the rich herb. But here's the most important part. It was the rich herb all along. The only thing that ever changed was perception. This whole vision is about recognizing that inherent value that already exists in everyone and in everything.
So this brings us to the source's core definition of spirituality. It's not about rituals or dogma. Nope, it's about innocence. A pure, simple, and just complete faith in the inherent godliness. Or you could say the profound worth within yourself and in every single person around you. Expanding on that experience is the ultimate goal.
And finally, we get to the most abstract concept in this whole vision. It's described as the abstract thought perimeter. It's the ultimate idea that kind of ties everything we've talked about all together.
The thought perimeter is this simple but incredibly profound phrase, what is. It's a statement of radical acceptance. Just a recognition of reality without judgment, without wishing it were any different. It's the foundation of peace and clarity from which this entire $2 trillion vision of wellness and connection can actually grow.
And we end with the source's own concluding question, one that it poses to itself, and really to all of us. After laying out this grand vision built on a global family, inherent value, and simple acceptance, it asks, is any of this really that unusual? Or is it maybe the most natural thing in the world? And that's a final thought we'll leave you with.